Yes. Then what happened is the Kornilov affair ended up undermining Kerensky's opposition. Condemned on the right for betraying Kornilov. The Prime Minister was also widely suspected on the left of having colluded initially, at least with the general. Something had happened there between them. Many soldiers suspected the officer of having supported Kornilov. And there was a sharp downfall in the army discipline. Communism against the Bolsheviks and the white military and the red guards of Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks, the Communism Party recruited workers for their guards, so that the revolution which is going to happen after against these people will be have a more important factor. Local people will be there. As a consequence, a process of radicalization swept the major industrial cities. Beneficiaries were the Bolsheviks, the Communist Party, who won their first majority in the Soviets of Petrograd, Moscow, Riga, Saratov in early September. From Finland, Lenin urged the Bolsheviks to start an insurrection at once, immediately, before the Soviet Congress was due to convene in October 20. He said, you have to put down one, you have to take over. If we wait, he wrote on September 29th, we shall ruin the revolution. He knew that the transfer of power to the Soviets took place by a vote of the Congress. It would result in coalition government of all parties in the Soviet. This would include his left-wing rivals, the Mensheviks and the social revolutionaries together have to come. He wanted to rule it himself. He said, this is the time. He saw the opportunity to seize power for himself and took it. Golden chance comes once in a lifetime. He returned to Petrograd and convened a meeting on his party on October 10th. Lenin then forced through a decision. Do or die situation. He got 10 votes. 10 votes to 2 to prepare an uprising. Slowly increasing, his votes were increasing. Total popping up across Russia. More Bolshevik uprisings spread across the country. The late fall of 1970. On October 16, the Central Committee was informed by its local activists that the Petrograd soldiers and workers needed stronger incentives to revolt. They would have to be stung by something, such as the breakup of the garrison, to support an uprising. Lenin was unconcerned. What Lenin believed was only a small, well-armed and well-organized force was needed. His vision was already won on the Central Committee. He's got his votes. If I have an organized small team, I can fight anything. But if I have 100 people who don't know anything, they'll fall. They'll create more problem. Petrograd soldiers, they are still wanting to have that monarchy. Some monarchies people are still there. Stronger incentives to revolt. With the Bolshevik conspiracy now public knowledge, the Soviet leaders resolved to delay the Soviet Congress until October 25th. They needed more support. They didn't have the guts to go against Bolshevik. They needed more time to muster support, a delay that fueled suspicions that the Congress would not meet at all. Rumors of counter-revolution started, were strengthened and got strong when Kerensky foolishly announced his plans to transfer the Petrograd garrison to the northern front. To prevent the garrison's removal, the Military Revolutionary Committee, the leading organization force of the Bolshevik uprising, was formed on October 20th. By October 24th, the MRC, the Military Revolutionary Committee, had assumed control of Petrograd garrison, disguised in a wig. He took over. It was a do-or-die situation. He has to do it. Lenin left his hiding place and made his way to Smolny Institute and ordered the uprising to begin. Let's take over. Taking the Winter Palace. He has to take over, na? October 25th, the Bolsheviks stormed the Winter Palace, the seat of the provisional government as depicted in the romanticized vision. Action, full to action they did with his gang. It became the legendary storming of the Winter Palace. The arrest of Kerensky's minister was announced to the Soviet Congress, whose up to 670 delegates, mostly workers and soldiers in the tunics and grey coats, had resolved to form a government based on all the parties in the Soviet. Most of the Menshevik and Socialist Revolutionary Party delegates, walked out in protest. A grave mistake, as it gave the Bolsheviks a monopoly of the Soviet. They were trying to get their majority, Kerensky was playing hell. And when they went out on the protest, that is the grave mistake they did. Gave Bolshevik the monopoly because he had his support. See what are these people doing for you, look what I am doing. But people thought that Bolshevik will not be able to hold for long. But the party had a huge hold on the capital. The seizure power prompted the civil service, post and telegraph service and banks to strike. Got them to strike. It needed power in Moscow, and its support in the provinces, other provinces were weak. And he had printed all his news in the Pravda, the truth in Russian, Pravda. The publication helped to make the party popular among soldiers and workers. Even so, although the seizure of power had been carried out in the name of Lenin had no intention of ruling through the Soviet executive, where the other factions would actually act as a parliamentary brake on Lenin's own organ of government. Don't forget, he is following Karl Marx system. The Council of People's Commissioners, or Sovnarkom, on November 4th, the Sovnarkom decreed itself the right to pass legislation without approval from the Soviet. They did not need the Soviet to come under it. Lenin would do the full action. They will not work with the Soviets. Opposition parties are always there. They wanted their hope on the elections in the Constituent Assembly, which was to be held in November. This already happened on November 4th. Late November it's going to happen. The forming of a Constituent Assembly had always been the aim of the interim provisional government, and would have been the true organ of democracy, elected by the universal adult suffrage and representing every citizen regardless of class. Okay. But if these elections were seen as a referendum on the Bolsheviks, the Lenin's party lost. His leftist rivals, the socialist revolutionaries, received the largest vote, about 40%. Bolshevik only were polled for 24%. But Lenin was not playing the democratic rules. Slowly but surely, the slave of a new police state with him at the helm emerged. In December, the Military Revolutionary Committee was abolished, its duties transferred to the security organization known as the Cheka. January 5th, the 1918, the Constituent Assembly opened, but it was closed down immediately by the Bolshevik guards. How revolutions changed, so many more things are there. Okay, so we'll come to that in the next class. I'll tell you more about it, then I'll read your book for you. Okay, so till then, take care, be good, and stay safe. I hope I was able to explain. Now we'll read the book, you'll come to know what I said, it's matching with your book. Okay, so we'll read from after February what happened when Lenin came back. So we'll come to know everything. The revolution of October 1917, I've given you an information about it. So we will read and come to know. What changed after October also we'll come to know. Because my total is from the Tsar to the, I am talking about from directly from Tsar to the, what do you say, USSR, the Russia's chaotic year of revolution. Okay, Union Soviet Russia, okay, revolution. So I am going to say about that. After we finish that, we will be come to know that what is left in the book. Okay, so what I have explained is till the origins of the KGB is still left after they closed down. Counter-revolution sabotage, Cheka for short in Russian, according to Lenin, which was there, the KGB. Okay. So we'll read about the KGB, a shameful piece, what happened, and then we will finish, and then I'll read your book. Okay. So till then, happy independence, Vande Mataram, Jai Hind, bye bye, God bless, and respect your parents.